Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We are meeting again in lesson number 12, which is about identification of type 2 error in directional hypothesis. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to identify type 2 error in directional hypothesis, and you could also suggest some means to reduce such type of errors. What is type 2 error in hypothesis testing? This is a false negative. It occurs when you fail to reject a false null hypothesis, meaning that your test incorrectly concludes there is no effect when one effect actually exists. Example, consider a medical study testing a new drug for hypertension. The new drug was thought to be more effective in reducing blood pressure as compared to the existing standard treatment. Hypothesis formulation. The null hypothesis states that the new drug does not lower blood pressure more than the existing standard treatment, which means that the mean systolic blood pressure of the individual that took the new drug is equal to the mean systolic blood pressure of those individuals who took the standard treatment. Whereas the alternative hypothesis states that the new drug does not lower blood pressure more than the existing standard treatment, which means that the mean systolic blood pressure of the individual that took the new drug is lower or is smaller than mean blood pressure of those individuals that took the standard treatment. Results: in reality, after conducting the experiment, it was found that the new drug is in fact more effective at lowering blood pressure than the standard treatment. But based on the study data, the researcher failed to reject the null hypothesis and conclude that there is no significant evidence that the new drug is better. What could have been the possible explanation for type 2 error in directional hypothesis? Number one, sample size. A small sample may not be representative of the population, making it more difficult to detect a real effect. Number two, statistical power. Low statistical power makes the test to lack the ability to detect a real effect that exists. This can be due to a weak effect size or a test that is not sensitive enough for a particular type of data. Number three, low effect size. The actual difference or relationship is very small and difficult to detect with the given data. The last one is the significant levels. A lower alpha level, such as 0.01, and instead of 0.05, makes it harder to reject the null hypothesis, thus increasing the possibility of type 2 error. The probability of type 1 error decreases, but this is a direct trade-off effect. A trade-off effect is a situation where you must give up one thing to get another, involving a balance between two or more uh, competing opinions. This is a decision-making process where gaining a benefit in one area requires a sacrifice or loss in another, often involving an opportunity cost. Which means that if you want to reduce type 2 error, it means that you are sacrificing on type 1 error, which means you reduce type 2 error and then you will increase type 1 error. Reducing type 1 error will give an opportunity for you to increase type 2 error. Public health concern. A type 2 error in a directional hypothesis results from inability to detect a true effect. Directional effect that can have the following consequences. First of all, potential harm. Potentially life-saving medication is dismissed. Missed opportunities. Effective medication never reaches the market, denying patient access to a superior treatment. How to reduce type 2 error? First of all, to reduce type 2 error, you have to increase the sample size. Increase the sample size. So, increased sample size will provide more data, which increases the statistical power of the test to detect the real effect. Increasing the significance level also increases power but raises the chance of type 1 error, which is known as the trade-off. Thank you to attend. See you in the next lecture.